From the hot air balloon capital of the world, this is live coverage of the 2025 ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. It's Balloon Fiesta Live. And now, direct from the rooftop studio at Balloon Fiesta Park in Albuquerque, New Mexico, here are your hosts, Art Lloyd Jr. and Ted Mays.
Well, hello world, here we are again. It is day 1, 2, 3, 4 at the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, the ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. Another day of competition on board. Of course, we're getting started with our Dawn Patrol folks as well. So welcome. Art Lloyd Jr. here along with my partner in crime. I'm going to say it that way this morning. Ted Mays. Good morning, Ted.
I've been causing trouble since Go Dark 30 today.
Yep, you have. You have.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, so already got a lot of you online, and of course we've been teasing it for 4 or 5 days that today is the day that we are going to release the 2026 theme, which of course is highlighted by the idea of having a new bumper sticker. Now 2025, New Horizons, you've seen that on our website, you've seen it on our bumper stickers, you've seen it on our jackets, all kinds of places. Well, for 2026, the theme is, drum roll, the scenic route. Yeah.
I like it.
So, yeah.
It is a scenic route.
So we have also been talking about, last night we had the glow in the village with our globitos. And so we set those up because that kicks off the centennial celebration of Route 66, which of course comes right through New Mexico and Albuquerque as well. So we're going to continue to celebrate that. There's already a hot air balloon with the centennial factions on it. And so we're going to help celebrate that. And so next year, the 2026 is a scenic route. That's the theme for Balloon Fiesta.
Wouldn't it have been cool if Sid had actually started the Balloon Fiesta 12 years earlier and we'd be 66 and 66?
That would have been, yeah. Hey, now, the other thing is, because we did that glow in the village last night with the globitos, and so all of the stuff we took, I think we were supposed to take 66 globitos there. So 66 globitos on 66. We have commemorated that activity by creating a brand new balloon pin. And guess what? As of 3 minutes ago, it was live on balloonfiestastuff.com. So, and there's only 250 of the pins.
I'll be right back.
So if you wanted to pick up a pin, and we've got a little shot of it here in the artwork. I didn't actually have the pin in my pocket to take a picture, but we do have these great new pins.
So wait a minute. There were then 249 pins. If you have one in your pocket.
No, I didn't. I didn't have one in my pocket. That's why you have the artwork. There it is.
Okay.
66 on old 66. That's what the new balloon Globito 66 pin looks like. So go on to balloonfiestastuff.com, search for 66. The pin should come right up. You can only buy 2. There is a limit of 2. Don't even go there and just delay your exit route. And you can use the QR code to get to balloonfiestastuff.com. The BF Live code does not work on the pin. That only works on Sportsman.
No, but while you're there, you can pick up a hat, a hoodie, t-shirt,
insider tip. Put the pin in your cart and check out.
Okay.
Then go back and use the code for your other merchandise, because even while it's in your cart, it's not like some of the ticket thing where you've got 3 minutes to get it. No, it keeps taking
until the process is
yep.
done. Okay,
that's right.
Good.
Yep, it does not reserve it for you. So
some inside intel there.
You bet.
Art Lloyd Jr.
Nice. Yeah. So I'm going to keep checking. I'm going to check back here in a minute and see if I can kind of track how many are there. So, yeah, new pins, new themes, new bumper stickers, and if you're out here on the field, we also have new schedules. So the tentative schedule is already out for next year as well. So,
and we have a new day of competition, a beautiful day. It looks like it's.
We have a lot of stuff to do yet this week.
Yeah.
So yeah,
there's our Dawn Patrol.
I've been hearing them cold packed, and then they said it's time to go hot, so they're going to coordinate their hot inflation and stand their balloons up all together. So We have one of our on-field cameras right there behind the basket with the burner going off. And I see them all standing up nicely together.
And hopefully tomorrow everything works out. We'll actually have one of our cameras in Dawn Patrol with pilot Tim Taylor. So we'll bring that to you live tomorrow morning. But for now, we'll Dawn Patrol getting ready to go. And I'm just going to do a little bit about Sunday morning. There's not a lot going on by looking at the weather.
Yes, you've been looking at the pieball reports, which is the wind reports, pilot, balloon. We send up a little party balloon. Actually, these guys are sending up a little bit bigger weather balloons.
A little larger.
Yeah, a little larger, more because they are the meteorologists. Us pilots just send up the little balloons and kind of watch and say, oh, it goes there, it goes there. These guys actually put theodolites, right, on there to track them so that they know. So exactly, oh, it's now at this altitude and it's going this direction at this speed. So
there's Matthew Crody.
Yeah.
X-rated gesture.
Chick-fil-A. Kids Day is Friday, brought to us by Chick-fil-A. Lots of great free stuff for kids getting here at the field. Get here early because they'll start handing that stuff out by the Main Street stage about 4:30. Again, that's on Friday with Kids Day.
I'm not sure who's doing Chick-fil-A today. It could be Steve Coffey out of Albuquerque since Shalina flew yesterday, but you never know.
Unless they tell us or we're close enough to see whose hand is on the burner.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit because we were talking about that yesterday after competition.
Sure.
What most people don't realize is, what we're producing here is along the same lines as a regional sports broadcast. So there's a little difference, though. Regional sports broadcast, you have a basketball team, so there's 10 guys out on the court. You know who those 10 people are at all times.
And even the subs.
Yeah, we know the substitutions. If someone gets injured, even in football, you have 22 guys out on the field. You know all about that. With ballooning, it's a little bit different. We have 550 participants, and when they start to fly in a competition, we don't know where Mother Nature's going to take them, and we only have we have two identifiers. We have the balloon and we have the banner.
Right.
Makes it a little bit more difficult. So it's sometimes if we're doing competition and there's a little silence there, we're letting you kind of enjoy the same moment we are, but we're also trying to find out who that is. And even though we know many of these pilots, I know a lot of them, I know that Art knows a ton of them, when it gets down and dirty down there and these guys are coming in, and yesterday was a little quicker than normal, but there are some days, and I remember flying in some days where you have 20, 30 of your best friends right next to you, and it's really difficult to pull them out. So we're doing the best we can.
Well, and let me complicate that picture a little bit because, yes, we have 550 primary pilots here. Many of them bring more than one balloon. And so there's really like 650 different balloons out here. And then, like we were just talking about, is that Steve? Is that Selena? Who's flying? Well, because there could be multiple pilots on the balloon.
You could have, I've seen several on here. We have a primary and two secondary pilots.
Right. So we actually have to look at the balloon or who's flying the balloon to be able to pick this out. Yesterday, here comes two identical balloons in. I knew that they were being flown by the Hartzels, but I didn't know whether it was Joe or Red or Lucas flying them until they got close enough. And then I said, well, that's not Joe. And we picked it up and it was Red. And then the next one came in, and I said, that is Joe, because Joe always flies with a ball cap. So those are the little subtleties that we have to use to be able to do this. And in football and basketball, they have their plays. They go up and down the same court or field. We've got these guys coming in,
and you can pretty much see their numbers
schedule.
or names all the time on their jerseys as they're playing.
Right, yeah, so a lot of help there. So
and to complicate things even more, sometimes we have pilots sell their balloons and not tell us they've sold their balloons. So then we're calling out someone who's not really that pilot, and boy, we hear it.
Well, let me go ahead and tell the story. Last year, because you actually mentioned it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So we were calling out this balloon called Dixie, and we knew that it belonged to Elisa Talbert. And so we're saying, oh, here comes Elisa, and Dixie. After the show, Zach Maxwell comes up and he says, guys, I bought that balloon, and that was me flying it. Oh, okay. Well, for the rest of the week, we knew that Zach was flying that. Well, the other balloon, there's this, and I talked about it a lot yesterday because I've actually flown it with one of the previous owners, is the racer balloon with the chili peppers around the center. And so it had always been called Hot Stuff. So I'm saying, oh, there's Hot Stuff. And I knew that Jody Browning had owned that balloon recently. So we're saying, we think that's Jody, blah, 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 etc. And then the next thing you know, I get an email last night from none other than Elisa Talbert, who says, oh, I bought that balloon from Jody. No! So the same pilot stuff that went on. And she says it's Chillin' Pepper now is the name of it. Although since she bought it, she's thinking of changing it back to Hot Stuff. So it'll just be, I'm just gonna keep calling it Hot Stuff when I see it.
There you go.
But now I know it's not Jody, it's Lisa flying.
All right.
And thanks to Lisa for letting us know
thanks for letting us
being
know.
positive about it.
Absolutely.
Which also means they're all going back and watching the show afterwards. In fact, I talked with Pat Irwin yesterday. He's going to fly our balloon camera today. I talked with him after the show, and he says, yeah, we went back and watched to see his pass in. So, yeah, a lot of folks watching this back in the replay, and we certainly appreciate that. All of our shows get archived and are available right after the live show for you to be able to go back and watch. And this is year number 9 for Balloon Fiesta Live.
Coming up on a decade.
We are. And I'm figuring that we're going to be really close to 400 hours of live video, uninterrupted. That's the other thing. You watch a 3-hour sporting event, how much of it is really commercials? No commercials here. We may pitch something, but yeah. Oh, Mike is asking if we're going to announce the winners of the license plate. I guess I should do that.
Yes, you should. I promised them at the end of the show yesterday to make sure that we got yesterday's done today.
So, thanks for reminding us, Mike. The winners of the Balloon Fiesta license plate for Monday would be Jim Rosing from Anderson, Indiana, Emily Pauley from Ashland, Ohio, and Stephanie DeCamp from Saint-Jean-sur-Loire in Quebec, Canada.
Congratulations to our Canadian friends and
Absolutely. So, what else do we give away? A jacket. A jacket. So, Monday's jacket winner is Curtis Smith from Vidalia, Louisiana.
All right, Curtis.
Yes.
Wear this loud and proud down on the bayou.
Yeah.
Once you receive it.
So the idea is that we're giving away 1 jacket a day. We're giving away 3 license plates per session. So it'll have the Balloon Fiesta Live logo on it. We won't put Ted's name on it. In fact, we won't even put your name on it. On the other side, it's got the ExxonMobil Albuquerque National Balloon Fiesta logo. And on the back, it has got the Special Shapes Rodeo logo on it. This is the same jacket that we're wearing on Balloon Fiesta Live, and it's also the same jacket that we give to all of our Special Shape pilots. So it's a very coveted jacket. You can win that and or the license plate by scanning the QR code that's on the screen right now and put in your name and the other information we're looking for, and then you'll be entered to win. Please only enter 1 time. Once you're in until I take you out because you're a winner. So
Here we go.
here we go. We'll 3 license plates per session, 1 jacket per session. The way things are going, I may have to announce the winners the next day, but we'll get them all caught up. So, and then I'll be contacting all the winners after Balloon Fiesta is over to confirm address, what we're shipping you, sizes if you want a jacket, all that kind of stuff. So, great stuff happening here on Balloon Fiesta Live.
So we're only moments away from ground patrol trying to show the way to all these pilots as they head to pilot briefing. It's already gotten underway, and we should be able to get to weather here in a minute, I hope, so we can get the official word of what the weather looks like. There's another shot of the moon, Mark.
Oh, yeah. You almost can't tell that we're so zoomed in. It's like, what is that?
Setting majestically
Yeah.
on the
We're
West
up.
Mesa now. Look
Yeah.
at that. That's fantastic.
I'm going to check on them. People are telling me they're buying them in, so I'm going to go check and see what the...
All right. Ashley Sanchez, good morning to you in Texas. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning from Mexico we have on here. Good morning, Ted and Mart.
One of our license plate winners is thanking us for pulling their name.
We have Hope watching in Indianola, Iowa. So good morning to you, Hope. And Mont Thomas Lake City, South Carolina. So thanks for watching. There they are taking off. Now I know for a fact that's Matthew Grody, an X-rated Jester, and I know for a fact that that's Ron Thornton flying Peanuts Forever in front of him, and I know for a fact that's Tim Taylor. So we're good. I'm 3 for 3 right there.
Well, there you So that's the other thing that I find, because we do have the app that helps us identify these folks. This is kind of like the basketball game. We've got our 12 or so pilots out here. We know who they are. Kind of the only variable is who's flying Chick-fil-A.
Correct.
That's the only really variable there. So we see these guys every day, same time. So we know them just as you know them, and can make sure that we get that announced correctly. So we haven't sold out of those pins yet, but they are definitely going quickly. So, good morning, Rio Rancho, and good morning, Corrales. Also, Charlotte, North Carolina, Alberta, Canada, Rochester, New York. From the UK, Ty loves our live streams. Thanks, Ty. We love doing them. Yep. Good morning from Kansas, Wausau, Wisconsin. New Mexico, of course, Santa Fe. Let's see. Yeah. Someone was asking if, because you know, when you place an order on Balloon Fiesta stuff, we send you a free bumper sticker with it. Oh, before we get to that, we've hit the weather section of Pilot's Briefing, so let's make the switch.
Side of the Sandias, and this is causing some weather. Satellite photos show this really well. Out on the eastern plains, we've got upsloped clouds. And for those of you that are from this area, probably familiar with what's called the gap winds, so the winds that come with these cold fronts through the I-90, I-40 canyon and bring gusty winds into the Albuquerque area, and then can certainly cause weather forecasts to be highly variable. That cold front is basically backed up against the mountains, now has become a stationary boundary. We've got a trough coming through the valley here right now with the cold front up around Santa Fe. That's also basically stalled out a little bit. So we have a very dynamic situation going on. We have this cold front backed up against the mountains. We have canyon winds, and you can probably feel it in the air. There's more moisture. Humidities have gone up significantly. When you add more moisture to the air, it's like adding fuel to the fire. It just makes more weather potentially later on. So what we have are two opposing forces today. We have our drainage wind conditions that we normally get coming down the river valley. As you notice from Dawn Patrol, at the moment, the other opposing force, which is that yellow arrow, which are the canyon winds, are coming in from the east. So we have two different vectors, one coming from the north, one coming from the east-southeast, and they're going to battle it out today. So while Dawn Patrol has gone to the north, by the time we get set up, your wind direction may come in from the north, it may go the other way. There's going to be a tug of war between these two opposing forces, and these opposing forces are coming right into here. Typically what will happen in this situation is Fiesta Field in this part of Albuquerque will miss the canyon winds. They'll be more down towards town. And that's really represented very well this morning in the current observations. Sunport, Albuquerque International Airport, east at 20, gusting to 29. Okay? While Double Eagle, winds are north at 6. Okay? So, hence the career decision choice. All right, but when you have opposing wind directions like this, they will tend to cancel each other out, at least for a while. And so for those of you who have looked at your terminal aerial forecast for this morning, you probably saw, your eyes probably got wide open. When you look at the TAF for Albuquerque, winds east at 20, gusting to 30 knots. While Double Eagle's TAF is winds north-northeast at 7. So what we have to be very careful with today is, are these two opposing forces, and will one win out over the other, or will it be a standoff? As it looks at the moment here through the early morning hours, it's a standoff, which means these winds are generally going to stay light and variable. And when we look the forecasted winds aloft, that's what it's showing. Through the 7 and 9 a.m. hours, winds are generally from the north, closer to the ground. Southeast winds above the ground level from the southeast coming on through. One thing that we're noticing as the potential, as the morning wears on, is that southeast wind, that canyon wind above the ground about 1,000 feet, is going to start increasing in speed. Probably around 9 o'clock or so, we could see some teens and 20s up there, 1,000 AGL from the southeast. So that's something to keep an eye on. So this morning, be ready for these opposing vectors to be causing either the winds to be from the southeast or from more of a northerly direction. And the biggest battle is going to be in the lower layers, the first few hundred feet of the atmosphere here through the morning hours. I want to briefly touch on this afternoon. For those of you planning tailgating activities or whatever's going on, we are in a slight risk, marginal risk of severe thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. In fact, if you look at this map, only western parts of New Mexico has the highest risk of severe weather. It's right on top of us today. And we will have thunderstorms between 3 and 8 p.m., and some of these could be strong. So just keep that in mind here for later this afternoon. Also, a reminder of the radio loop to get current weather conditions. Today's a really good day to be listening in. And we've had some inquiries about how to get the LiDAR. I'm not going to read you a long web address up here. So use the power of the internet and Google ABQ wind profile. And that'll get you to the site where you can get the wind profile information. Use North Fiesta Field. North Fiesta Field is what you want to use for the LiDAR. The LiDAR will be very helpful today to show you that battle that's going on between these two opposing forces. Now it's time for Weather Helper of the Day. We have two. We have Emery Kinzer, and I want to bring up the idea here that I got to note. Emery Kinzer is a 4th generation balloonist. And her dad, Will and Poppy, and Bill are pilots here in Fiesta. So we've got one coming up the ranks, and we also have Allison McClinton with us to help launch the weather balloon today as well. So, do we have a zebra with a whistle? We are cleared to launch. Thank you. Thank you.
And there's your weather.
Yes, sir.
As we watch the pieball go out, of course, we've got a whole bunch of other big pieballs up there in the sky.
Yes, we do.
Our dawn patrol.
That actually just mimics exactly what the pieball reading said about an hour ago that we read, that where they were going to go off the field to the northwest, go high, come back into the southeast. But to Don's point, there's going to be some Mother Naturing going on in about 3 hours here.
Yeah, I love Don's explanation of what's going on. You might not understand things like troughs, and that's kind of this front, stationary fronts, but the idea that there's two opposing forces here, and so one of them is going to give us winds from one direction, the other is going to give us winds from this an opposite direction almost. And so how do they all come together, and how do they play out? So as Don was saying, right now it's going to be a standoff, and we're going to have light variable winds. At some point this morning, one will win out over the other. And then later this afternoon, where we don't have any flying events this afternoon, so it's a good time for the weather to come through and get out of here so that we can have another mass ascension tomorrow on Flight of the Nations Day.
Well, again, that's talking about the micro right here. It's nice and calm, and he talked about the canyon wind starting to kick in, and we don't really get affected by that. We will get a little bit of drainage coming down through Santa Fe and the San Diego Cristos into the Rio Grande Valley, but as of right now, it's pretty stable.
And sometimes the winds that come through the canyons will get all the way out to the west side, and they'll dissipate as they get that far. But sometimes there'll be an effect of that. But what we're looking for is a good morning to fly, but it's not going to be a long morning. You're going to want to get up, you're going to want to get your flight in, you're going to want to get your competition in, and be constantly paying attention to those weather signals, the LiDAR, radar that he talked about, the weather loop. That's a continuous broadcast from our meteorologists about the weather that's happening at Balloon Fiesta Park. not necessarily the Albuquerque Airport or the Double Eagle Airport, which is all the way out on the west side of Albuquerque.
Right. When we were talking this morning about, how schools really get involved in Balloon Fiesta and Balloon Fiesta Live.
Yeah.
And how important it is to know your sciences, your mathematics. You just right there, you're looking at him talking about 30 knots, out of the canyon, which is, most people know what knots are, but you put it in perspective, it's almost 35 miles an hour. And that's one thing you don't want to be doing in a balloon at ground level. We have several school teachers that are always commenting on both of our feeds. And you talked about Kelly Sasser down in Alabama with her class yesterday, and I guess she's all set up and ready down there today.
All set up there and ready today. And I like to remember one of the very first years of Balloon Fiesta Live. We were down there with our mobile camera and we're talking to people, and it was a glow night. And so we took our camera up and this gal says, "I'm Kelly Sasser from Alabama, and I've been watching with my class all week, and I'm glad to be here." Nice. And so that's how we met Kelly. And so, it's always great to renew. We talked yesterday, the family reunions, always good to renew those. And so hi to Miss Sasser's class in Alabama.
Yes. And any other teachers out there that want to create a lesson plan, maybe, going into the back end of the week here, utilize the things that you hear on here. I mean, like Don talked about, go to ABQ Wind Profiler and pick up the North Fiesta Field and throw it up on that those really cool boards. We only had chalkboards when I was a kid. I don't think we could throw anything up.
Yeah.
We could draw.
And then when I went back into teaching, we went from chalkboards to whiteboards, which just meant you didn't have all the chalk dust.
Right.
So but now the tools that are out there to be able to have kids engaged in their learning process. It's just incredible.
Matthew Grody again, an X-rated jester. I'm sure Ruth is on the ground today, right? They had a heck of a play yesterday.
So, all right, let's see who else we've got here. Been watching since day one. Rooftop Studio, when does the 2026 Balloon Fiesta start? So, it always starts the first Saturday of October.
Always the first full week, I tell people.
Yeah, and we used to say the first full weekend, the first week, but if you really look at the deal, it comes down to being, if you really want to be specific, it's the very first Saturday, because that's going to kick off the first full weekend, which then leads into the first full week. So that means for 2026, if you look at your calendar, or if you look at the new bumper sticker, next year's Balloon Fiesta is October 3rd through the 11th. So,
and if you want to get a preview, you could come in a day early, and on the 2nd, you could go to Balloons Aloft at any one of the schools and kind of see them fly all over the city. That's the unofficial kickoff.
Hey, Kelly says her students enjoyed the shout-out. You bet, Kelly. Looking forward to seeing you when you get here.
Hey, get some pictures and send them in to us so we can see what you guys are learning there. Bonjour from Genève in Montreal, Quebec. Thank you for watching.
So the winds could be, they could end up getting down to Vista del Norte. We'll have to kind of see what happens. Vista del Norte, a landing site just south of the balloon field today. They're watching in Sarasota, Florida. Visiting Albuquerque now. They can fly home tomorrow morning to Ohio. Watching from your friend's backyard. Hey, on your flight back to Ohio, be sure and tune us in, get the airplane Wi-Fi. And tune us in, and if we're not live at the time, pick up those archives, and then make sure you share it with the other passengers in the plane. Appreciate that. Thanks for recognizing all the work that we do, Gail Johnson says. Thanks to everybody watching in Wichita, Kansas.
Got some viewers in Livingston, Texas. Good morning to you guys.
And a report of light rain and dense fog on the other side of the mountain. Talking about the Sandia Mountains here. There's a number of towns on the other side. One of them is Edgewood, and there is some weather on the other side of the mountain.
And you wouldn't think, sitting here from our vantage point, that would really be going on, because
I know.
We're seeing the sun starting to come over, and it's a nice blue morning here in Albuquerque. That's that micrometeorology we talk about.
I don't even see any clouds.
No, I didn't see any clouds when I left this morning.
Of course, fog means it's down at the ground, so you wouldn't see the ground in Edgewood. So. But we are getting the dog patrol just kind of hanging around. I thought maybe they were going to get out of here to the northwest, and then they just went up just a little bit more, and now they're just kind of hanging over the field. Yeah, talking about clear skies. There they are. There's our great super moon?
That's the supermoon right there. In fact, when I woke up this morning at 3 a.m., I thought it was like maybe the sun setting. It was so bright and vibrant outside. We didn't even really need lights.
I know. Always nice when we have that. And it made for some really incredible pictures at Sunday night's Balloon Club.
It did, indeed.
Coming up tomorrow, just looking ahead a little bit. Tomorrow is Wednesday, Mass Ascension Day, Flight of the Nations Day, when we'll feature the 12 countries that are here. Give them an opportunity to fly on, and we'll have our Mass Ascension just like we do on the weekends. Thursday and Friday are special shape days here at Balloon Fiesta. That means we feature the special shapes. All of our balloons still set up and fly. It's a competition day as well, so we have balloons taking off from the field. We have balloons coming into the field, flying into the field. We've got balloons standing up on the field. Those are the special shapes. It's just an incredibly busy day on Thursday and Friday mornings. Add to Friday morning Kids Day, brought to us by Chick-fil-A. And what we see there is a lot of kids out here. Most of them are off from school, and they get all this free stuff out there as well.
Who doesn't like free stuff?
You bet. And then Thursday and Friday night, it is the Glodio. So we will have the ability to set up all of our special shapes and let them glow. Those are always very popular nights to be able to show up here as well. Saturday and Sunday, we're back to Mass Ascensions in the morning. Saturday night, the final glow, our night magic glow.
Well, yesterday when you went to the field, it was kind of like a little preview for what they're going to do tomorrow as far as the competition or the Mass Ascension. And we had a bunch of shapes up there on the northeast side of the field, and I would say, oh, you know, those don't look like they're going to fly. They're just going to be out of the competition area. And the minute I said that, they made a liar out of me, and a couple of them decided to fly.
That's always the way it is.
It is. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut from now on.
I swear sometimes that they say, oh.
There's a great shot. Look at that.
Yeah. They just said we were going to do this. Well, let's do something different to fix that. So
that's Rick Jones right there. From Concord, New Hampshire. Hey, we got Nick watching us from Belgium saying good morning to you, Ted and Art.
Good morning. Watching from Sussex, New Brunswick, Canada, balloon pilot. Many young local pilots in their area. That's great to hear, David. So, where can you find a list of the pilots? They're on the website at balloonfiesta.com. They're also in the mobile app. On the website, you can use your browser feature to, find on page.
There we go. There's a little bit of the clouds pushing back over the Sandias right there. Now we're seeing it.
Talk about opposing forces. Look at there. 1, 2, 3, 4 flags just hanging, and then there's one flapping, and then there's a whole row of flags that aren't doing anything again.
And those mountains are really holding that pressure back, as Don talked about.
They are.
They're fighting up there around Santa Fe. If we can get a shot from the north to the south to the north, you can kind of see some of that right at the where the mountains come down and around, right below the.
Oh, and now there's a little more light. Yes. So some of the clouds way out to the north.
Ballooning is such a small world. I gotta give a shout out to this guy. I see him several times a year. I don't have him on Pittsburgh. I run into this guy who's a ticket taker. His name's Danny. He actually has flown Balloon Fiesta.
Yeah.
And the only way I met him is I was wearing my Fiesta jacket one day when I was down there, and someone says, "Do you do that?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "That guy over there does it." So I met him. Super nice guy. So shout out to Danny. He's my ticket taker at PPG Paints, and I know that he loved flying in Albuquerque. We've traded some great stories together.
There you go. Let's see. Also, good morning from Glendale, Arizona. Was at the pin trading event on the field Sunday. Met some great folks. Yep, next time you have to plan to stay a little bit longer, man. So, did they announce the name? Marianne, are you late to the party?
She's late.
She's late to the party. She's been one that's been online with us a lot of years. And so, yes, Marianne, we did. You missed it. So you'll just have to come and find out what it is.
No.
Just kidding. The 2026 theme is the Scenic Route, celebrating the centennial of Route 66. Balloon Fiesta is going.
Well, he's doing it wrong.
They least they're zipping up as opposed to unzipping, right?
Matt asked, I'm guessing they're not flying towards Rio Rancho. I'm not thinking so, but you know, things could change when the sun comes up. We'll see what happens. Again, it's another one of those strange, I would call them sideways boxes. We saw that on Sunday morning as well. Instead of the normal box north and south, you're kind of getting the, you know,
east and west.
Yeah, east west, but more like a diagonal line. I don't think there's enough to push them all over the river, but I could be wrong.
Well, again, we got the, if you missed the pilot briefing this morning and with the weather from Don Day, there's a couple of different weather systems, forces as he described them, that are in opposition to each other. And so because they're going to battle it out here, it's going to be that no one wins except the balloons, because we get to fly in the light variable winds. So if one of those were to win out, then we'd see a quick direction one way or the other. But Don didn't expect that to happen for a number of hours, so we should be able to get our flights. And Don, by the way, does weather obviously full time, but he is also one of the ones that balloonists that want to do record-setting flights. He's the one they call.
They pick up the phone call.
Yeah, he's worked on a lot of the high-altitude parachute jumps with balloons, things like that. So Don's the guy you want on your team when you need to know what the weather's really going to do for whatever.
And then what I was,
and what's great is he actually talks it down so that anybody can understand what's going on, not just the pilot up there.
Yeah, he can throw out all those acronyms and all those weather. Alameda open, should be. Drive right on by. Take a detour, go into work late.
Right. Here's one from Bristol, England. It says 7-month-old Alexander is with his great uncle, Mr. Andrew Lowell.
So they're watching on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah. Get the shout on both sides. There you go. How many balloons expected to launch today? Everyone that stands up.
Yep.
Well, there'll be some that won't actually launch. Always pilot's discretion. So we can tell them the field's open, the field is closed. We can kind of tell you really can't fly from here. We're closing the field, but it's always up to the pilot to make the decision whether they fly or not. You never know what kind of night they had, what kind of morning, whether the crew all showed up. All kinds of reasons why you might not want to fly in any particular morning, and that is totally up to the pilot in command.
And they could be tired already. They really could. This is a pretty grueling event. I mean, I've done it where you fly all 9 days, and you're pretty much wiped at the very end of this event. So, you know, you got to know what level you can fly at and what your durability is, so to speak.
Oh, here you go. Michelle says she's been watching Balloon Fiesta Live since 2017, the year we started, and she was pregnant that year. They're coming in person this weekend. Her daughter will soon be 8 years old. So, daughter, lifetime Balloon Fiesta Live watch.
that's so cool. You gotta fly over
here to the rooftop studio and give us a call.
Yeah, love to see you, Michelle, and your daughter.
I saw it.
Let's see, got folks who have retired here from California because of the balloons. Good morning from Sanford, Florida. Torres, Brazil. From Christmas Valley, Oregon.
Here's what you were talking about yesterday as well. It's not totally light out there yet, but look at these shots.
I know. Yeah, I know.
As I look out over the field, it's a little bit dark.
Yeah. It's still kind of hard for us with our eyes to identify what balloons are out there. So with the camera stuff, and again, that's thanks to Windpower Productions. Gary Williams, the mastermind behind that. Brian Bick, good morning to you. Crew member, other balloon pilot, used to live here. He abandoned us for Florida, he and his wife Jamie. So good morning, guys. Good to see you. Miss you.
Balloons for beaches. I don't know. That could be a tough one.
Yeah.
So, Audrey says, good morning here from Central PA. So I'm not a usual guest, but there's a bunch of places in there. But good morning to you.
Confirmation from our event director that we're all still on schedule today. National anthem at 7 o'clock with the balloon of the day.
Yeah, I'll be the balloon of the day today. I'll launch at
just
after the during the
wow.
start thing of
We just got mooned.
it sounded really nice with that.
We've been moved a lot. So now we're starting to see the inflator fans running on those balloons that were just stretched out. Now we do something called a 3-row rule. So those guys on the very front row can be putting cold air into their balloon. The second row, they can be laid out. The third row should be taking things off the truck.
Rigging stuff up.
Yeah, and starting to do that. As you kind of look, you see there's a couple that have already laid it out on farther rows. But then you get all the way out to the midfield. That's kind of like the first row all over again. We kind of split the field in half. So they're doing the same thing.
They're putting some cold air into these.
Yeah, so they're just going to follow that right down. There you go. Let's moon you again.
Yeah, here's another moon. There you go, Jesse.
Good morning, Reno, Nevada. Local crew for Katie Griggs flying her balloons this week. All right. Next year, you're going to be here for sure. And one of these years, I'm going to make it to Reno. I'm talking to Katie about doing some announcing up there. Maybe that'll happen one of these years. Would love to do that.
Very fun.
And you've got somebody flying through Baltimore today?
Yes, I do. I think he's still sitting in Pittsburgh because his plane got delayed or canceled. So, Drew, have a safe flight out here, and we'll see you up here on the rooftop studio tomorrow, my friend.
Yeah, and then Arlene is watching from Baltimore, which is why I bring that up.
Oh, okay.
Hi from Denver.
Here's a great one. This is Brian Chase. He says, good morning from my classroom in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I'll see you all for the Special Shape Rodeo. Keep an eye out for Billy the Kid. And if you're on the field, come and see me at 2-3 for balloon cards.
All right. Billy the Kid, one of the Special Shapes on Thursday and Friday.
Well, Billy, we're kind of trapped up here. So when you're done flying, come over here and see us. How's that sound?
Well, maybe we can send Diane there. She'll be back with us.
Yeah, we
gave her yesterday and today off, so that she'll be back with us tomorrow.
Wait. People get days off?
Some people do. You and I don't. When I build the schedule, it's kind of like, and I count up who's doing what, how number of schedules, and of course it says Art 14, Ted 14. Everybody else has got, 7, 8, 9. So, no, you don't get a day off.
Nor would I want one. Nor would I want one.
Great. I'm going to give you the afternoon off.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And you had yesterday afternoon off, too. But don't get used to it, because come Thursday, it's 2-a-days.
Yes.
Puxatawny, Pennsylvania. It's not Phil, but from Puxatawny. Better check it in.
Better go wake Phil up.
They did.
Pat loves the 2026 bumper sticker. Awesome, Pat. We do too. Minneapolis, Minnesota checking in.
And ladies and gentlemen, here is our national anthem performed this morning by Susan Tipton.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's delight what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night, that our flag was still there.
USA, USA.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave for the land of the
USA, USA, USA.
Susan Tipton with the national anthem, so it's balloon on.
Burners on, inflators on, full speed ahead.
There we go. I don't know about that speed portion. I just looked at the pry ball reading again, so it's not going to be that speedy yet, but it will be a lot of fun out there.
Full speed could still be 2 miles an hour.
There you go. Full speed for a balloon.
That's it. All rise. Steve Mitchell has the Coca-Cola balloon in the air on Coca-Cola Day here at the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, the Exxon Mobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. And that is the signal for all the balloons in the first wave and in the first row, which is also the middle row, to be able to stand up, get a launch director, and get airborne. And look who's following them up.
Here we go, Lobos.
The University of New Mexico Lobo balloon.
Cherry on top.
So we are underway. A balloon ascension. I always struggle with what to call the flight this morning, because we call them mass ascensions when we put all 500 balloons up mass ascension. We're only going to put 300 up from the field.
I always refer to it as the mini mass ascension, but again, you know, it's mini to us, but huge to others. Look at that. Speaking of huge,
there's no competition this morning. We're just mass ascending.
Large basket. That's about
this afternoon. We're going to try and do a little competition with all the other pilots that are joining us.
That's being lifted into the air.
VW buses.
You know, back in the day, we had those pictures of people trying to cram themselves.
How many can I get in a bus?
About 14, 15.
One thing I'm noticing right now,
Alnell.
the hot air is not staying
when
as
he got
long.
stared with all of this, formed a company
balloon.
called World
They can have it
Balloon
burn a little more.
Corporation and used the World Balloon as his logo, and he built many, many of those. For our 50th, 3 years ago, Jewel Cutter had the beautiful World Balloon built, and when you get a chance to see that up close and personal, you'll see lots of little flags and stars on the world representing places that were special to Jewel and Sid.
Whether they lived or flew or had events.
Or they have some great story to go along with
yes,
that.
absolutely. There are tons of great stories.
After yesterday's show at Flight, got to spend a good half hour or so with Jewel. She came and sat with us. We kind of had our little snack after the show. Always great to catch up with her, and just what a great lady. Of course, Sid was a great guy too. We were swapping.
See, these are
stories
the
last
recorded.
night.
These are
I think
pre-recorded
one of
from
my
Albuquerque and other ones.
stories
But
that I
like,
have is
when
that
we do
my
Albuquerque,
youngest son Tyler,
they do
probably
live
5
stream,
or
so
6
I'm going
years
to
old.
live
Sid
stream
invited us
them
into the Chase Commander.
their voices while we stream this.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to
he was
hear
in there
live
with
updates of
dogs,
the weather. I mean,
I said, hey,
it's going to
who's
be
this guy?
legit.
He just looked at me and goes, that's just Sid. My kid, you know, he's
I'm gonna try to make a whole 9 days of events worth of it. Like, we'll maybe try to get an air show or two, get people to come with jets and like formation flyers. You know, I want to have a charity for that event to raise money for something. You know.
Oh no, Champagne Sunrise had to leave early and has gone back to Mississippi. Sorry you had to leave early.
Hey, what's up, T-White? Good morning to you.
First we had the
And you have a kick-ass day. Remember, you're awesome. If someone says different, tell them they're stupid. I'm kidding.
I believe this year
No, but yeah,
football
definitely.
series, Mexico beating New Mexico State, so I think we have points and they
We'll
go
be
for
on
Rio
tonight.
Grande
We
rivalry,
might start
so
up
they'll do
north
that
of
in
Atlanta this
basketball.
time because I want
All
to go to
sorts
the
of
city,
sports.
but as you
There's
can
a
tell,
happy
we're
camper
going completely
pilot.
opposite
Heidi
way
from
it,
Rio Rancho was watching from Japan this morning, or afternoon on her side of the
We're
world.
going to probably have like a little test
Actually, probably
competition,
almost Japan.
maybe like a hare and a hound,
Japan's the other way.
or we'll
Yeah.
find something like designated.
No, it's yeah.
And we'll try to get to it kind of like a beanie
Maybe
back
she
up.
can tell us. I'm sure she will. It's hard enough to wrangle these 650 balloons rather than time zones.
Yeah, Chips, I'm burning a lot of fuel, dude.
Which is why I started advertising.
I mean, the weather is cooler, so when the weather's
the
cooler, you
Mexican time,
do
the
burn
mountain
more
time.
because the air's thinner.
You know,
but
6 a.m., 6 p.m., but I started putting the
I'm burning really
0000
quick.
or the
Imagine I had a
1200
passenger
UTC
over.
time. I figure you can, because in
with
the
me.
U.S., it's always like this time Eastern or this time Central. They never talk about the mountain time. But we can all pretty much relate to UTC, Zulu, Greenwich Mean Time. So that's why we always kind of throw those times out there for you.
That's
as
cool.
well,
We had
for
like a
those
little
of you in different
flyover
time
this morning
zones.
too, Chip.
Heidi
A
says
little
it's
jet.
10 p.m. in
Okay, a
Japan.
couple minutes
Thank you.
early, but hey, still all.
So Here we just noticed before, this pilot, he's giving instruction to who's going
That's
to
cool, we
operate
had
the
a
fan
little
for his
flyer over there.
inflation. But prior to that, they were all sitting around, taking a look at the weather, seeing, what the conditions were. And, a lot of pilots will do that. Some will decide and look around.
I can't. No. My animals always like
that they want to fly.
They know when I'm doing
this pilot
something.
has made
I
his
could be
decision
laying
that
down
he's,
or
getting
not
ready to
doing
prep his
shit.
crew
As soon as
to
I start
cold and
streaming or
plate, so we
getting on
can
here
get
to
out of
work,
here on this mass ascension before we
it's like
start
they
day
take
2
turns. It's like scheduled.
of
One comes
competition
and
at the
tries to get my attention. The other one.
ALBUQUERQUE International Balloon Fiesta.
Crazy.
Mass Ascensions are always Saturday, Sunday, and the midweek Mass Ascension on Wednesday. But as Ted likes to call the mini Mass Ascension, it's every other day of the week.
Right.
So every day.
It's like a mass ascension sandwich, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you did say you need a
triple decker.
land a lot
You got
earlier
bread on
today,
either
Chip,
end,
so.
and in the middle, Mass Ascensions on either end in the middle. Yeah.
There's Earl Buzzard.
Yeah, I'll continue to spread the word.
Earl's been flying for
Right over the top of.
If y'all have any charity ideas,
Cool
like
Beans,
let me
Marty
know.
Watson.
I'm gonna put them down on my
Looks
notes,
like they were close.
and then
Pinnacle Propane.
maybe in a couple of
official
weeks
provider
or see
of
how much
propane
traction we can actually
for
gain with
our
this.
balloons here again
We'll
this
do a
year.
vote
Earl's family is going to be a
on the
third
charity,
generation ballooning
and then
family.
we'll
He
just kind
started
of
with
use
his
that,
uncle,
and I'll
then
get
it
a
was
hold of the
Earl,
charity
and now
people
his youngest son,
and
Brian,
get permission.
is studying to get his
You know, we
pilot
can have the
certificate.
charity
I've been
event
out a couple times and done some
in October.
instruction with him.
That'd be
very,
pretty
very
cool.
close. Very cool that they will
But I don't know, maybe like
Chris records glow with
Well,
glow.
What did he learn to teach you this time?
I don't know. I think that was him who just walked up in the camera there to make sure that they were holding the lines open, because that's the job of the people on that end of the balloon, to hold it open so that the fan can blow the air inside, and then of course once you get some air in, then it almost pulls itself open.
And being
Man,
great
I am
about
burning
it,
super bad.
He's letting us
Oh,
go
yeah.
inside the balloon
And
with
look-
our camera
yeah.
during the cold inflation. A lot of times pilots will walk in and make sure their riggings are okay, that their turning fins are okay. We have
oh, we got a
knot.
plane right there.
We
Y'all
have
get
a
ready.
knot.
Thunderbolt. Oh, we got a whole air show and everything going on right now.
Nope. A lot of people don't want you walking on the inside of the balloon.
And
in
the
fact, a lot
gamer.
of times when I did it, it was like, I'm going to take my shoes off. Because you never know, it's not so much about
Panda, get your hot
what's
air
on your
balloon,
shoes, but
what's
what on the
plywood.
other side.
The envelope,
And
correct?
they got the
Yeah.
horn and there's two Thunderbolts. Okay, so they over there tanning
operated by
and
Rainbow Riders
teaming up.
here locally in Albuquerque.
And one of the Sundance balloons is one of those that operates in Canada, our ride business up there.
He
They
just-
come
he just
down
hit
and
the
help us
ground.
out and help Rainbow Riders out to be able to provide
Watch yourself,
350
Chips.
balloon rides a day
He's
on a
active.
Balloon Fiesta field.
So that particular one there is Beneath Waters, and yeah, he's been flying commercially for 8 years in And if you see how this is hanging out here, Art, we're getting very similar to Sunday.
Yeah.
Earl
All right,
took
now I
off,
gotta
and kind of
win
went
from the
west,
east.
he went high, and now he's going back east. And all these ride balloons are just kind of hanging.
Yeah. Yeah, very slight drift to the west, right at the deck. You don't have to be but 100 feet up. You kind of stop, a couple more 100 feet up, you drift. Even that's, it's kind of like drift is probably too strong a word, that you move off to the east. Oh, we're off there. We're asking about the Stork balloon out of commission. Actually, they rebuilt the Stork balloon a few years ago. Dr. Steve Comodina, who is actually still on the board of directors for Balloon Fiesta,
I'm headed
he doesn't fly
west
anymore, but his son
from the
Mark
east.
does. And we usually
not
see the Stork
bad.
balloon on Thursday
$3,000.
and Friday. The rest of the week, Mark tends to fly his Never Forget balloon.
Let's just hope he doesn't forget how to fly it.
I actually got to fly the original Stork balloon
Did
as
you?
a student pilot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, back in 1989. And yes, Sid's World Balloon Corporation that I was talking about formed to provide some balloon rides and put the Balloon Fiesta on, became the World Balloon Company when they started adding flight training and all that other stuff. And then when Sid passed on and they got, actually before he even got to that point, he sold the company off and the flight school went one way and World Balloon Ride Operations went another way. So the company has split into multiple companies owned by different people these days.
It looks like Tristan McLean is getting ready to
He's got his
lock eyes with
passengers
his
in.
zebra. And
Well, I just saw the zebra coming this way. She has her cowboy hat on too. You can't wait, I don't see her. She's kind of all the way up at this end. Because remember, they walk out far enough.
and he's ready to go, and he's very buoyant. So his crew, he's got a great crew. Look at all those guys
Some
and
great,
gals.
some great pictures from Tristan's mom yesterday. Oh, really? That will get on the air at some point.
There's Tristan's dad right there, wandering right in front of the camera.
Years ago, and they had talked about the idea that they'd always
And there he
wanted to
goes.
build sort of parking
The tip of the
they
hat
use as dorms
to the
for
crowd.
right?
See if he remembers to tip the hat to the camera. They're waving at us. And you can watch, notice Tristan. Head on a swivel. Left, right, up, looking all around.
Well, he's pulling one of those turning. He's pulling the black one. He's turning to the left.
And that stick coming out from the top of the uprights there, he's going to have a camera mounted on that.
Oh, of course he will.
Yeah.
Faster than us.
Oh, there's a great shot right there. Of,
Yeah,
on mobile. Enchanted Horizon balloon.
With the moon.
Just getting ready to set. Kind of messes with your brain when you think about sunset, moonset, right?
Yeah.
There's Arabelle.
And having sunrise with moonset. Then we had moonrise with
The sunset.
sunset. Yeah. So there's your indicator. It's going to be a good day.
Yep.
When Arabelle's inflating.
And then we have to remember all the months.
Yeah. And what time is it where?
Yes. There's Al Mills spinning the world.
Jewel says thanks for streaming this. She has never seen this event. Jewel, we are absolutely thrilled that you have found us.
Here we go. This is what we were talking about before.
Oh, all the bumper stickers.
Look at that. It's 1987. That's when I graduated high school.
Let's see, I was in my third job by 87.
Look at my dumb ass. I'm on one burner.
I feel some days.
I'm dripping, bro. Wow.
So Jewel was asking, can we explain the competition? Jewel is, we know what the actual
Oh, it makes a lot of sense now.
competition in general means. Go find a launch site somewhere and then
Shit,
fly
chips. I've been
to
burning.
that
I've been
target, which
going
will
to
be
one
here
burner the
on
whole time.
field. That's the competition in general, but then there are very specific pieces of competition that you want to go ahead and drop the marker on a particular target or in a certain
Makes a lot of
area.
sense now.
And once we know
But
what
still
the
burn a lot
actual
of fuel,
task
but-
is, in fact,
Like,
I'm
man,
just
why
checking
am I-
here.
Because I have one burner on the whole
Henry
time.
Rosenbaum, our balloon meister, has just sent it to me. So let me call it up. What are we doing today? We are doing task 3 is a hesitation waltz. That means there's going to be, in the case of today, 3 targets, 3 exits out on the field, and you can pick the control marker on any one of those 3. That's task 3. Task 4 is a maximum double drop. And so we're going to set up 2 sets of 2 triangles and with an X between each of the sets. The X
Damn.
is the
Caught a
measuring
whole
point.
steer in the wind,
And we're going to
bro.
measure baggies inside the triangles, and the farthest away is going to win. So they're going to go to the far tips of the triangle. So you so you want to hit that very first tip of the triangle, fly over the X, and then drop it on the tip of the other triangle.
So the furthest apart from one.
Furthest
you don't
apart.
want to be on the middle where it's fat next to the X's.
Right.
You want to be on the tips and the ends.
Right. And there's 2 lines of those so that you can come down left and right. You have to hit the markers in the triangles that match. So on the map, we have them red and blue. They're just going to be the same colors out there on the field. But, yep. So, and as of right now, they are planning on closing the target at 9 o'clock.
And that was because of the weather that
we're expecting to go through. Yeah. All right. So competition day 2, hesitation waltz, any marker except orange or red, and orange. Okay. Orange markers on the maximum double drops. Okay.
Oh, I guess they're watching us on the Odyssey cruise ship right now.
Wow. That's cool.
Are they leaving from the Philippines, did you say? Oh, heading towards. There's one more thing. We got cruise ships involved in this.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Hey, you want this burrito sandwich that I got this morning? Hold on, I'm gonna throw it to you. Let me stop.
For the past 23 years. It is incredible the number of people that are connected with ballooning in some way, and even more so, they schedule their vacation for season this week. Yeah, well, you too. Yeah.
Well, I gotta get a shot of this.
I have for many years.
I always tried to incorporate my work into this so that I could get paid to come out here.
Worked pretty good for you.
Damn.
It did for a while. It did for a while. There was a couple of jobs that I couldn't get out here.
Yeah, growing up, the kids were like, okay, we can do Disneyland in the summertime and just Fiesta in the winter.
Right above.
Good morning to you, Teresa from Dunedin, Florida. Again, I'm kind of a sports nut. That's the spring training Toronto Blue Jays, who are facing the New York Yankees tonight. Earl and I are adversaries on that standpoint. So,
dude, we just did some daring shit.
About the segment about those Fiesta lost. We did lose our original field reporter, Diane. Haven't lost Diane yet.
Sorry, Diane.
She's just
that was like some balloon aerobatics just now.
Long-time reporter for us. We did lose her a month ago.
But we did it without steering
mechanism. Memorial segment about her on Sunday morning. So if you went back to this past Sunday, and you can watch that video back. It's about 50 minutes into the show.
Got water coming up?
So thanks for asking.
Oh shit, we do, huh? Let's see if we can get this splash and dash.
Awkward box, I guess is what I'll call it, is beginning to set up again. Because now we're looking at we did that at our first airplane. They took off. Well, you would see how
yeah. But at
more
the moment,
acrobat.
Those in the back seats had to, you know, they were probably
weren't going to be able to
look down enough.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta get up.
You know, being such an aviation area, I have a map on here that tells me exactly who that was. There it is. That's a Delta plane.
There we go. They got a whole football
right here.
Right there too.
Yeah.
And that is going from Albuquerque to Atlanta.
That's the wrong way for Balloon Fiesta.
Right. Cat Pat.
Yeah.
You hear that? Cat Patton, a longtime volunteer, did not make it out of this year, but her husband Dale is on the safety team. He's out there roaming the field, I'm sure, on his scooter. And Cat told me, hey, you have all of my support. The hardest time while he's in Albuquerque. So we are doing that right now, live on Balloon Fiesta Live, ExxonMobil Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. I am Ted Mays.
I'm Mark Lloyd Jr. Thank you for being with us. By the way, now would be a great time to share, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I checked it out the other day, and so we're just about 100 people shy of hitting that 10,000 mark on YouTube. So I need 100 of you. In fact, there are already 300 of you watching on just YouTube alone right now. So I need 100 of you to go over and subscribe to the Balloon Fiesta channel on YouTube. We want to take it over 10,000. Thanks for doing that.
How many do you have on YouTube?
I've got 300.
All right, Facebook,
yeah,
you guys are slacking
so
off.
Far, so
we're only at 280, so let's get on there, please.
Of course, we've been in the 15,000, 16,000 range on our previous shows. We understand it's a work day for many people. Although I have lots of pictures of you sneaking the watching of Balloon Fiesta Live while you're working. Appreciate that. It's great pictures. And I won't tell your boss.
We will not. We got Susie here in Hurricane, Utah, which is right near Zion National Park. So
Jerry Graff and his balloon lofty on the screen. On the side. There's another shot of the University of New Mexico balloon.
Cherry on top.
And as I looked down the field, we saw Vampirilla getting ready to he is now in the air. Right there. What a face. Only a
The winds aren't really that bad this morning. But the further we get away from the airport, the better they become.
So if you have just joined us, this is our mini mass ascension. We're going to launch about 300 balloons out of the field. And then the other 250 balloons have already left the field to go find a launch site to attempt to fly back into the field.
I don't think Microsoft Flight
with our competition.
500 balloons in one area. It'll crash the whole fucking throat.
There's a little cloud hopper. One of several that are here this year.
I don't care if I even, okay, I'm definitely getting this one.
That right there is Mr. Jaybird Mason.
Just missed it,
He's got to be.
I barely got it.
49th, 50th Balloon Fiesta. He's been around a long time. He actually worked for City Hunter.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
And his wife Regina worked for me. Now, how crazy is that?
Whoa.
I barely got that one, bro.
When I was first getting started in ballooning, Jay was flying. Always good to see him. Oh, we have you streaming live, but we have to be muted at our work on 6 TVs. That's where you need the AirPods, you know. Yeah, they'll think you're on a telephone call.
There's Jaybird. And we have Bill Lee in Truly, New Mexico with the Dos Equis balloon. The Wicked balloon's right behind it over there on the right-hand side. And Bob Romanowski in Arizona Superstar. And Chain Gang. I can't think of the pilot's name because I'm thinking of everybody at the same time.
Yeah. That used to be
Tom.
That used to be the Wrights.
Right. Tom Wright, I think. Or it could be Tommy.
I think it's Tommy.
Yeah.
Kind of like the McConnells. They all have the same name. And they abbreviated in the, separated out, differentiated by
another mooning right here, but this time from a pig.
Yeah.
So it's almost 10 o'clock your time.
By how they spelled it.
What time you need to be down, Chip?
Don't can when pigs fly.
Like I can't.
Hey, you want to say
like
shape?
It's for
15
sale.
after or 30 after?
Absolutely.
It's for sale. So, seen a couple of hopper balloons. You can tell those because there's no basket.
Right.
It's kind of sitting in a little web chair with the burner on the back. Over your head for the burner.
We saw at the end of the.
We got a right away coming up
Michael
to
Flynn
power
riding
lines,
in on
power
the chariot.
towers.
He was a little late to the party, but he made it to the
He
field.
made it.
He had a nice big runway out here and lots of people to help him out.
And in the background, there's that glow with the flow. We saw, that's the one we were inside a few minutes ago.
Yep.
Chris McCord.
And his lovely wife, Kira.
Take a second, look over there.
No.
We were ready for our close-up.
Yeah, copy that.
I had a pilot on here say that they've done that with their balloon trailer with all the
Just
stickers over all the years, the bumper stickers that they paid after. That just shows you how long you've been coming out to Fiesta and how best way to put it, the experience you may have in ballooning.
We just got another pieball reading. Again, that's if you were with us earlier, you heard Don Day, our chief meteorologist here, talk about what the weather is and that we needed to watch it closely today. There are two weather systems that are competing, and one would send the wind one way, the other would send it the other way, which means they're going to cancel each other out right now. But we're watching to see if all of a sudden one were to start to win. that battle. Speeds all still look great. Directions, nothing horrible in there.
Just some good wind to get you some places you need to go.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun sometimes when it's really light and variable, but with this many balloons, you want to have at least something in the 3 to 5 to 6s to get you kind of away from your best friends. Not that you don't like them.
Because we want to clear the field, because we can't launch up into other balloons. So we need them to go high and get a direction away. That way we can keep getting balloons off the ground. If you hang at 100 feet off the field, then you're blocking the airspace from those launching from below. Here we're looking at the balloons through one of our new live sites. There's the new preventive pest control balloons. A special shape Itsy Bitsy just going off the screen, and the new one Arachnid. Brian Victor flies the Itsy Bitsy, and Don Boyer is flying Arachnid.
There's Tiger
with Wicked.
Doug Gant.
They were kind of walking him around some balloons, because here's what, again, normally we launch from the south because the winds are coming north to south. But now with that direction going to the west right on the field, we got to go to the west side of the field, and that's the downwind side. So they're walking in Hamlet kind of around a couple of balloons to get to an opening space where they can safely let him launch. These are the days the launch directors really earn their stripes.
Yes, they do. Literally. Tony Polito and the Down Syndrome Network balloon getting ready to launch.
Wish I had a turn of it on this damn balloon.
Speaking of airspace, that plane that flew a while ago we caught. All these balloons are hanging around here, right?
Yeah.
He's already over Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Good morning, Baltimore. Another one from watching from Baltimore.
Nice. Greg Ashton just posted. He says Monty the Black Sheep is on his way.
All right.
All right, Greg. Safe travels. We have Alexander from Brazil watching. And he responds to the Globitos at the end of his.
How much time did we just spend about pilots switching things? And I just said Brian Victor's flying Itsy Bitsy, the shape, and Don is flying the other one. So now I hear from Don's grandson that they've switched today.
Oh, of course they did.
Thanks, Cameron. I appreciate that. Hey, Tim Baggett, where the heck are you, man? I'm missing you. Thanks for checking in, Tim.
Okay, it was in a layer that was much faster. Must be a shear up here somewhere.
Yeah. How do you land hoppers, someone wants to know. Just
very carefully.
Yeah, but just the same way. You let the air out, you come down, settle it all off. Most of the time, you'll turn around backwards, so you kind of lay down on that tank.
And all those hoppers do have turning vents which allow you to do so.
Or if it's really calm, you just come down and, you kind of stretch your feet out in front, put your bottom on the ground.
Yep.
So it's depending on what kind of wind
So they got a couple little bass lakes, as I call them.
Your landing spot.
Catch bass fish.
See the sun just press the mountain in these areas. Balloons that are up to the view. From our vantage point, we can't really see it yet on the camera. There's there. And Dan Albuquerque.
When Arabelle flies. Yes. Yeah.
Oh. Ran this one dry.
Tim Baggett's in his office in Austin. He's usually here. He's always done a lot of great work with us with Balloon Fiesta, balloon maps, etc. He's in important meetings. Well, I'm glad you're still checking in, Tim. Miss seeing you.
We have Lane watching us all the way from Rolling Hills, Alberta. Fort Lauderdale's in the house. Elephant Butte, New Mexico's in the house.
Harleysville, Pennsylvania. Aurora, Colorado.
Elk Rapids, Michigan. Christopher, good morning. Starts his day off every day this time of year with Balloon Fiesta Live. I know this one. Jen, another one from High River, Alberta, with an A and a Canadian flag. So good morning, eh? I have a lot of really great friends up in Ontario.
Look at the face on Arabelle. That's a great shot. So cute.
Looks like she's from our vantage point from the rooftop studio, we have a little different view. It looks like she's like trampling over the tops of the balloons.
Yeah. Remember the first Arabelle actually had a crescent moon hang underneath the basket.
Cow jumping over the moon.
That's exactly.
Yeah, but I think Corey is
And if I'm not mistaken, isn't Arabelle Canadian?
Or what pilot was?
The pilot.
The pilot.
The balloon. Yeah, the balloon's Canadian. It's got a
And the Mexico
nationality
crew now
behind it.
standing up.
I mean,
They'll
it's May
lead
or
right
whatever,
behind it.
but
The farmer's market balloon or farmer's insurance balloon. Ron Baca, cruise control, he calls that balloon.
This kind of a situation.
And Frankie Martinez. Right behind him, you can just kind of see him. Yeah.
That's one of those because we know the balloon well enough. We can make it out.
It's like a train depot over there.
The Leon, Mexico, they have a balloon rally
A lot of cables
down
and power
there.
lines.
A lot of our pilots go down there.
Changes it right at the end.
Now the sun's really starting to hit us.
Yeah. It's kind of amazing. We can kind of watch it come from across the west as it kind of grows, and then it's like all of a sudden it jumps to include the entire field. And now the pictures get really good.
Yes, they do.
And it's also when we need to start paying more attention to what's happening to the weather, because now that the sun is heating the ground, that was going to help mix that air, the warm and the cold air, mix a little bit more.
An hour, hour and a half after sunrise.
Sir Mix-a-Lot, Duke City Ready Mix, one of the shapes that flies year-round here in Albuquerque.
But also,
Chris Braden putting the heat in there. And here you go, Ted.
Sort of fly in the
Here's
middle
this
of the
balloon
sky.
we've been talking about. On either
Yes,
side.
that balloon's name is Horizon.
I don't want to be screwed.
And it's being flown by Mark. It's got two little logos, and it really represents their family and in ballooning.
So we're seeing the animal. Side.
Yeah, the animal side is their entire family. The mama bear that's on there is Missy, the wife, and the crew chief. The panda is Amanda, their oldest daughter. The line of the family is Morgan, that's another daughter. Kevin and Isabel, granddaughter. Baby bear is Madison, their other daughter, and the wolf is Max, their son. And the eagle is Mark flying overhead. That's really
cool.
Really cool thing.
And this is Pirata Joe, João Padula from Brazil flying that one.
Brazil.
One of the
kind of partial to that, where I'm from.
Yeah. One of about 7 or 8 new special shapes just from Brazil.
Raise the Jolly Roger.
You don't want to raise my jollies.
It's actually getting warm up here on the stage this
I didn't
morning.
don my jacket today.
Oh, I just realized I'm like almost 6,000 feet in the air.
Shit, mine.
Another great shot of Arabelle from the ground.
I love how the eyes. So they're just kind of looking right. Looks like she's just looking, giving us a side eye, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right down into the
Great.
camera.
You know, Mark also is bringing to the special shapes. He the bus. That'll be interesting and fun to see. It seems like a really fun balloon.
We talked about the Globitos event last night, the Globitos Glow in the Village, and we talked about the theme, the scenic route for 2026, all to celebrate the centennial of Route 66, and there is the balloon that's going to help us do it. With the big white and the green Zia on the side. If you could read the other, it talks about Route 66 and the centennial. Yeah.
Is that going to be white on the equator, or is it going to be enchanted? That's what a lot of balloonists around the New Mexico, Albuquerque area say when they buy a new balloon and they go out and they fly it in the mesa. It's not dirt on there. That's just total enchantment.
Being in the desert, we have a lot of wide open spaces, and it is desert. The amount of vegetation is out there. It might be tumbleweeds or sagebrush, cholla, cactus, etc. So most of the time when we fly balloons around Albuquerque, we take off and land in the dirt.
Yes.
So that light colors, especially the white, gets a whole lot of enchantment on it.
I'm trying to see who's flying today.
Well, we're going to zoom in and find out. Silver lining, Fred or Lachelle.
And it's definitely
Little town
Lachelle. So they're on the left.
Yeah.
That's
a
not
little
Fred in
city,
there.
but
Nope.
little area.
Hallelujah, she actually got off the field this year. We've given her a hard time. Lifelong friend.
Jonathan Wolf and his fractal balloon. Infinitude.
And look, the cow is stomping on the
Infinite
hammerhead
gratitude.
with the capybara below.
Looks like in the very lower left, almost kind of behind that other. Oh, even a better shot. Now we can see it's still in the lower left, but there's splash duck.
He's way up here.
Quack,
Quack, quack.
What the
And if
fuck?
it was a French duck, it would say le quack.
Oh my lord.
That is the post-flight ceremony. And they're all a little bit different. We'll talk about that later on the week, and we actually end our show with the balloonist
They
prayer.
got fields up here.
Hopefully,
Stuff
out the
preparing
week,
to
we can
land, I
maybe
guess.
do a little segment on.
Somehow I'm
how
way
these
up in 7,000
balloonists
feet. I got both of
get
my
their
burners
first flight
on,
with
and now
a
I'm like,
brand
okay.
new
I see why I was burning so
passenger.
quickly.
We've got
Now I'm like, oh
spiders.
fuck, I'm way the
not so
fuck
sure
up
about
here in the
that.
air.
And then you've got the I love the spiders.
It's so nice.
You got both sides of
It's
the
a
argument
beautiful
on
flight
preventive
this
pest
morning.
control
Look at the
spiders.
weather. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
and then someone says that they do a lot of
winds
enchanted
are-
hiking.
I fall in the worst.
So they understand exactly
This
what
is
we're
not
talking
blowing
about.
us around like ragdoll.
You know, the very first year we were on the field, it was basically dirt, and then we got a little bit, not even half,
Yeah,
about
the
a third
court,
of the
yeah, yeah.
grass. And all the fields before this one have all been dirt. So,
Well, again, you know, utilizing that drone, that great shot that Gary gets, there's an iconic placemat photograph out there, and that's
Yes.
back at Sims Field, and it was all dirt.
all before drones.
Speaking of another change that we had,
Or the Ricky Bobby balloon.
the Ricky Bobby balloon, who was owned by William Wadsworth.
Still is.
Yep.
Mike Voorhees balloon, Iconic, actually did not fail its annual inspection. Because their aircraft have to be inspected every 100 hours of flight, or every hour, every year, which comes first. Mike's balloon didn't pass annual, so he got in contact with William Wadsworth and said, hey,
I really need a balloon for Balloon Fiesta.
yeah, so he has leased the balloon from Will Wadsworth. Will is flying one of his other balloons here this year. So thanks for the cooperation there. And actually, that happens a lot.
Oh, yeah.
These balloons that come from Brazil, a lot of times they're flying a basket that lives here in Albuquerque year-round.
I mean, Peter Ford, hey, remember, he'll reach out and say, hey, I have friends that are coming and we need tanks or we need a bottom end.
Yep.
And, you know, this community, this family is very amenable, and they're here to help everybody, especially at the largest event in the world. And I think it's really cool. There's Tall Steve. Can't see Tall Steve from where we're at.
Which is why we have 10 cameras to be able to
There you
bring
go.
you everything. You can see it all here on Balloon Fiesta Live.
See,
Chris Braden and
you're the
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
magician. I'm
That's
thinking
right,
you're down
Smith and
below me
Smokey
still.
Bear
I'm
down
looking
there.
all down, and all of a sudden look up, and there you are. That's
And now
why
we
you're the
can
magician of the
Confirm
balloon.
that that's Frankie Martinez.
Microsoft
from
my
Rack Balloon
boy.
down there. I can definitely
That
see
right
him.
there.
And again, Mike Voorhees going out of the side there, and Ricky Bobby.
And Mike was really good about letting me know, hey,
Yes.
hey, my balloon
It was very
did pass.
helpful, yes.
Yeah, my balloon did pass. I'm going to get Ricky Bobby from Will.
Yeah, that's
so.
your. I gave
That
you
was really
I
nice.
say a balloon nickname
Hey,
for you. You're the magician.
Putting the,
Chips.
one of the aliens
Yesterday.
Was he
Yeah,
up
you
yesterday?
hear now you
I
don't.
missed it.
Sorry,
Kinda
now
looked
they
like
see
you
me
were
now you
down the
don't.
field.
I was on the field and I was
Good
all
Here
the
I
way.
am
He
now.
was one
Not
of the ones that
here.
did
Hello,
not
back
watch,
at you.
so
Like,
he did not make a liar of me. But the ones on
pretty
the
cool.
northeast side of the field, that one did.
Which is where we'll set all of the special shapes up on Thursday and Friday. Many of them plan to do a static display for us.
There's Splash.
So
Yeah,
you way
great
up there.
shot of Splash.
We ain't next to me no more. Haha.
And that hat, I'm guessing,
Zorro.
is
This
is
Zorro.
back, though.
Yeah,
He's
Z-Boy,
back.
but
Yep.
it's really Zorro.
That's
There's
pretty
Anthony
cool.
Polito. Grand Down Syndrome Network balloon.
All right, let's start looking for landing zones.
Here's another individual who actually
know
used to
what
work for
this
Sid
is
Cutter
over
in World
here.
Balloon. There's a pretty famous poster that I see around quite a bit, and a lot of these photographs that you guys sent up to us that Tony's actually flying one of the, I
There's
think it was Perfect
fields.
World.
Beyond that, the choices are limited again. So this
Another
will probably be our
drone
best
shot
bet.
right there. That feels like a beautiful flying.
Yeah. I see that because it was the other end. It's our other drone.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And then a photo bomber.
Yes, Rod. He eclipsed the capybara. Not for long though.
No. Kind of fun after all the years. You get to know the pilots and talk to them because they all go back and watch us as well. Which is the thing. I mean, while we provide great coverage here, we still encourage you to come on out to Balloon Fiesta and get the full experience of being up close, feeling that burner heat and pressure, that kind of stuff. You can go back and watch the show, or stream it while you're out here on
another
the
football field over here. That's cool. We're ducked off.
Master Yoda is in the air on the far end of the field, as is the Hammerhead Shark. He's taking Rock's balloon off and spinning it from our view, trying to get in the shot. We need to figure out who that is.
Which one is that?
The gray one?
Oh, yeah.
The multiple shades of gray.
Now, that would be funny if it was called the 50 Shades of Gray.
No, bro.
456 is the banner number. They helped you out.
Oh.
The family-friendly event. So,
that is Snowflake. Bob
Okay.
Foxberg from Black Creek, Wisconsin.
Or is it Andy?
Who's from Sheboygan Falls,
I was
Wisconsin.
called a wind shear at 36.
Did I see that Andy was the
36.
he was the Cameron pilot
yeah,
of
34.
the day? They do a
34
drawing.
knots.
Yes,
pilots
it
and
may
get
have been, yes.
I think it was Andy that was that person yesterday.
Yeah, that looks like a train D4. D-pod. D4. Whatever the fuck.
There's the aliens.
Watch out for airplanes.
Shape and regular.
Aeroplane. Shit, they got some water. Might better do a quick splash and dash here,
a lot
Chips.
faster today than yesterday.
Right,
So we
give you
can
a
set up
chance.
for our competition. Do you want to go over again with the competition that we're going to be doing
I
today?
just had a really weird angle
Sure.
right now on my balloon.
Because I didn't get the memo on my phone, so.
Well, we'll have to fix that. Henry just likes to send it to the executive producer.
Oh, I see.
So we've got two tasks again today, tasks 3 and 4. Task 3 is a hesitation waltz. That's where we set up multiple X's and a pilot can throw one baggie on any X. So they're all scored, so no matter which X you score on, then we're gonna combine all those measurements and that's how that will work. Pick an X, throw a marker, any color other than orange on those X's. The reason you don't want to throw an orange one there is because you need to throw your orange one on the maximum double drop task. What we do there is we take two triangles, lay them out on the field, and they're pointing away from each other. In the center of the big flat wide spot of those triangles is an X. That's the measuring point. We're going to measure from that measuring point to your baggie, but your baggie has to be inside the triangle. And the best distance is the greatest distance.
Not the shortest to the middle, not the furthest. So if I were to drop on the north triangle, the very tip, and then the south triangle on the very tip, then I'd be the winner. Or
That's
at least I'd be in the lead.
Right.
Okay.
So that one's a maximum. However you
That's
get
a
them the
very good
farthest
comment
apart,
there.
but they have to be
Yeah,
in the
we-
triangle. If one of them falls outside the triangle, then you don't have a score.
Gotcha.
So, and then of course, the closest to the X on the hesitation waltz. And we had a number of pilots throw the wrong color baggie on the wrong
we
target yesterday. So I need to go back and see what some of those did on their scores and whether they kind of penalized them or they just got the measurement to the wrong measuring point, because that would probably happen that way as well. So that's the two tasks today, a
The
maximum
winds is
double
dying
drop
down at, well, never
and
mind,
a
I'm gonna shut up.
hesitation
We
waltz.
just gotta
Ted's
go.
going to be heading down there shortly, get in the middle of all the action with our remote cameras. And I'll call him from up here on the
And
road. Before you leave,
I'll figure out
I'm going
what
to take care of a little business, and then we'll get you out of here.
Absolutely, not a problem.
I'll figure out
There they are prepping the
what
field
our
for
challenge will be
competition.
tonight.
Right over to these.
I'll do a
There's
little
the triplets of
investigating out
aliens
here.
with the Rex.
Might just do a hare and
Bears,
hound.
Rick Salat. As we said, when Arabelle flies, it's a good day in Albuquerque and a great day in Albuquerque. You are watching the Exxon.
We just got to see who wants to be the hair of the hound.
I am Ted Mays with my broadcast partner, Art. Momentarily, I will
who wants to be the
down
hair
to
because the rest will have to be the hound.
Some competition
And
live
then,
down the field. Art will be calling from up here at
of course,
the
there's
studio.
2 minute. I'm gonna do a 3 minute timer window, so pretty much
you can imagine
after the hair balloon takes off, timer will count
Jerry
down.
Williams and his team do a fantastic
And
job, and they continue to do so today. There is
I'll figure out how to put it on the screen too. But I'll put a timer on there, and once that goes to 0, that means I'll get the rest of the balloons. Then I'll get the green light to take off. But I'm getting all distracted.
Right there.
Screw it, I'm coming in for a landing.
Maitan Marcuz from San Paulo Fiesta. There's Dale Dewey Ruth, who typically is
I'm gonna do some investigating.
navy blue balloon
See
flying
if
in front of
something
Z.
cool that
Normally
we can
does
do.
Dawn Patrol, but obviously elected today not to.
We can practice like this circle right here.
Dale is a south here now in the Albuquerque metro area. We see Eric Hodges and that's Samore right next to each other, taking off the red macaw.
But that's hard to
Splash
find,
duck,
though.
the blue macaw. We got them all here today.
We do. I'm going to see if I can't get the actual one that we have.
Well, you went way over there, huh?
You can put it on your iPhone, perhaps.
Crazy.
Well, we get it on the
on the screen.
On the screen.
There you go.
And so
Oh, now it's bringing me somewhere completely opposite of what the fuck I was doing.
Thanks for the suggestion. I usually try and remember to do that.
While you're looking for that, Alex Ray is watching from New Harmony, Utah, home of Purple Haze pilot Dave Milton. There's Baby T-Rex, Rex Jennings, the great state of Texas.
Being reminded about the competition getting open, and since they'll be heading from the east, there's a chance of landing on the San Diego Pueblo this morning, and so we're being reminded of the procedures.
There you go. There's a friend of yours, I think.
Oh yeah, Spirits in the Sky.
Barbara Fricky, correct?
Barbara Fricky made the balloon, actually sewed it. Peter Cuneo was part of the design. They went back to one of the early balloons that Sid built from 1973, and so they put that together.
And of course, the field up here is a junkyard.
For the 50th.
Fairly iconic. Great shots. You got the Roadrunner on one side, you got the Coyote on the other side. Before we used to do the Roadrunner Coyote event, where one would take off, and the other one would chase them. This is a great wide view of a lot of the shapes. Another fantastic view there, Art. Check that out. We'll be down
We'll have it from here.
yes, sir.
Nope, that wasn't going to work.
Car in the sky.
Yeah, there's nothing but a junkyard in here, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Well, there's a great shot of a
Yeah,
number
they had
of new
spots
shapes.
over there,
There's
but the
Geronimo
wind
on
decided
top,
to say,
Splash
"Nope."
Duck, Pirata Joe. New last year or the year before. So just a preview of what you're going to see on Thursday and Friday on Special Shapes here at Balloon Fiesta. balloon, we'll have about 117 special shapes. The other part of the preview, as Ted has talked about, we have now almost cleared the entire competition area of balloons, but yet we have a number of balloons that are standing up on the east side of the field. So pilots have been told if you want to stand your balloon up and you don't want to fly it, then we need to move you off the competition area, so we'll put you along the east side of the field. And we pulled up aliens earlier. They've got a whole 3 of them there. The 2 regular shapes plus the special.
They don't literally like flying over a junkyard.
With baby T-Rex kind of looking on.
Splash and
left.
dash.
Headhouse with the Dutch Direct is the racer in the front foreground of the screen. The red one with the blue and white checks. In fact, if we can kind of, pull back from there, we're going to see a bank balloon, but also kind of sandwiched in there is the Never Forget balloon. We were talking about and how Dr. Steve Comandina no longer flies the Stork. His son, Mark Comandina, does. I mentioned that Mark flies the Never Forget balloon. There's up in the middle. Flies that one during the week and then stands the Stork up on our special shape. That kind of just down the line. There again, baby T-Rex just beyond that. The
now I got a wind from the north. Now it's northeast.
A new one for us. Perfect.
I guess I'm landing on the highway again. Ain't no but shops back here.
Let's see if we can. See if I can get the. Let's do this. Export to images.
And they got power lines coming up.
And I'm gonna put them somewhere that I can. Oh, maybe I can. Nothing like graphics for the show that we're going to use while we're announcing the show. And Ted's on his way down there. We were talking about all the regional productions and people that put those shows on. You know, for camera, and everybody's got their own little monitor to do all the replays and the graphics. And it's all here with less people. In fact, the entire team from the Balloon Fiesta Live side is only 10 people. That includes Ted and myself and Diana and another 7 friends that help us kind of keep things in the right place. And then the entire production team brings about 20 or so people per day to be able to put it all together. There's Princess Nellie getting some cold air in the balloon right next to the Spirits balloon we showed you before. With the Coyote on this side, the Roadrunner on the other side.
On this side.
Princess Nellie is the third in a line of balloons. As the balloons wear out, they've built slightly different ones. Nellie B, and now Princess Nellie.
Yes. Hell yeah.
So doing that extra little work to prepare the graphic for you and help you understand the competition a little bit better. We do have the graphic to show for you. So this was the, this is what they're going to do. We can just move down to the yellow box that they had. There is the maximum double drop concept. So you see that there are 2 sets of triangles. There's a red one and a blue one. All that matters is you got a choice when you come down the left side of the field or the right side of the field. It's the same thing on the red as it's going to be on the blue. And there is an X between those 2 triangles. That is the measuring point. So where you want to be is you want to drop 1 marker in the very tiny tip at the far north end and another one in the tip of the south end of either the red or the blue. Now, as you can see on there, they have to be in the opposite triangles of the same color, and you have to drop an orange marker. So you're going to actually drop 2 of them. So come over the field, hopefully north to south or south to north, so that you can hit the very tip of that X, of that triangle, fly over the X, and hit the other very tip. The biggest, the longest distance is what counts, but your markers must be in the triangles. And if you throw them both in one triangle, that doesn't work. If you throw one in a red and one in a blue, that doesn't work. So they have to match up. One in one red, one in the other red, or one in the blue, one in the other blue, and the farthest apart is going to be the best score. So that's what's called a maximum double drop. There's your XDD.
Yeah, that's a good. I tried to land there earlier.
Drop.
That's a good spot.
And then the other one is the hesitation waltz. 3
That's a good
X's
spot,
on the field. Pick one. Throw any marker other than orange or red. So they've got white ones and blue ones and yellow ones. They've got all those. Because those will all be measured to the center of whatever X you're on. It doesn't matter, just as it doesn't matter which double drops you go to. So that's the competition that we're looking at today. Balloon pilots need to be at least a mile away when they launch. And then they'll be given the opportunity to fly.
Very nice, dude. Very nice. Come on, butter. Go down. You good. You good, bro.
They can land just on the south end of the
Very
field.
Very nice, man.
And many of them will
Great
do that.
Fucking landing, dude.
Our balloon cameras are out with one of our competitors today.
Great landing,
Pat
man.
Irwin is going to be flying, and we're seeing the camera. So they've gone more than a mile away. And they've got
stupid ass thing from Microsoft, the bugs they got to fix out this bitch.
Our camera will be in there. Hopefully,
Alright,
Pat
so that's
will get
where
over
you
the
landed.
target, and we'll be
I
able
landed
to throw his
over there,
markers on
not
the
too
X's
shabby.
and into the triangles of the double drop, and we'll be able to see that view from.
So that was pretty awesome, man. Look, Chips, I appreciate you, brother. I know you got to get ready to go, do what you got to do, but appreciate you flying with me again this morning. This is where we traveled our give or take distance and length. Same time tonight as last night. Hopefully we got T. White says he's gonna be there. Hope we get Valdez, and then hopefully we get Rome, and we'll have a handful of balloonists, and let's make this grow, man. Let's keep sharing, keep spreading the word, and yeah, we're making a movement that's never been done before on this game, so it's kind of crazy. So but you have an awesome day. My stream will go on. We'll start about 30 minutes prior at least, to kind of get everything going and rolling, so before I actually get on here. But anyways, oh Lordy, Jesus, what a great flight, a great landing. And this is Bayou Man Gaming. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button, because we are going live pretty much every day until we get to ALBUQUERQUE, and then we're gonna have a 9-day event, and hopefully we have a chat every day. It's your boy Bayou Man Gaming. Shout out to all of y'all. See y'all this afternoon in the A.